If you're trying to choose between Thinkific and TalentLMS, I'm going to save you the spreadsheet, because here's what every comparison article gets wrong. These two barely compete, and comparing them feature for feature can hand you a wrong answer. They're built for two completely different jobs. So the real question was never which one is better. It's which one you were actually shopping for in the first place. And most people get that wrong before they even start. So in the next 10 minutes, which one you were always meant to be looking at, and the one rare case where they genuinely do go head-to-head. No hype. The right tool for the client in front of you. Most people treat Thinkific and TalentLMS as two options on the same shelf. They're not. They're in different aisles of the store entirely. One is a course platform, the other is a learning management system. Those words sound similar. The tools are not. A course platform, that's Thinkific, is built for one job. You make a course, you put it on a page, and strangers on the internet buy it with a credit card. Creator to public. It is very good at that. And most corporate trainers do not actually need it. An LMS, that's TalentLMS, is built for the opposite job. A company training its own people. Staff, partners, customers, compliance baked in. Nobody's buying a course off a landing page. The organization assigns it and tracks who's done it. So when you line them up feature for feature, you're comparing a delivery van to a sports car because they both have wheels. They're not bad versions of each other. They're different machines for different journeys. And choosing the wrong one isn't a small mistake. Pick the course platform when your client is a corporation with compliance needs, and you lose that client the day they ask for a record you can't produce. Pick the enterprise LMS when you're a solo creator with one course to sell, and you're bleeding money every month on capacity you'll never touch. The wrong tool doesn't just underperform, it costs you the work. So this matters more than the spreadsheet makes it look. Let me give you the questions that tell you which one you actually are, just the few that genuinely decide it. Most of this comes down to one question, and it's the first one. Who actually pays you? If individuals find you online and buy a course one at a time, you're a creator. You want Thinkific. If organizations hire you to train their staff, and an auditor might come asking for completion records months later with dates and scores, you want TalentLMS. One sells badges to the public, the other keeps a paper trail for a business. Most people know which they are the second they hear it. Second thing, quick one. Do you build the training, or do clients hand you their own files to host? If they hand you files, there's a standard called SCORM, and it points one very specific direction. Hold that thought, it matters later. Last one, and it's where people get burned. Thinkific charges a flat monthly plan, however many learners. TalentLMS charges per user. Few big clients with lots of staff? Per user adds up fast, and I won't pretend otherwise. Many small jobs? Flat wins. Your shape decides this, not the sticker price. Add those up, and most of you already know your aisle. Which means, for most of you, there was never really a contest. But I promised you the one case where there genuinely is one. Before I get to who this rare case is for, let me just show you what different machines actually means. I'm going to do the two jobs these tools are each built for, in each tool, back to back. Selling a course to the public and hosting a client's compliance file. Watch how each one is easy in its home turf and awkward off it. Thinkific first. Building and selling a course to the public? Beautiful. Landing page, checkout, done. This is what it's for. Now ask it to host a client's standards file and watch the path change. That's the plus conversation. No public price. Now TalentLMS. Hosting that same compliance file? Courses, add content, upload, done. Then it tracks completion on its own. But ask it to be a slick public storefront selling one course to strangers, and it's the wrong shape for that. It was never built to be a shopfront. That's the whole point in one picture. Each tool is effortless, doing the job it was built for, and clumsy, doing the other one's job. Neither is better. They're better at different things. Which is exactly why, for most of you, there's no contest. You just pick the one whose home turf is your actual work. But I keep saying most of you, because there's one person for whom it genuinely is a contest. Someone whose actual work lands right in the overlap, doing both jobs at once. If that's you, this next part is the whole video. Here's who you are. You're a training provider with a mixed bag. Some clients hand you their own SCORM files to host. Others just want you to build the course from scratch. You're doing both jobs, so for you, picking by home turf doesn't settle it. You need to know which tool is less painful when you're forced to do both. And that comes down to one number. How often does a client actually hand you a SCORM file? Not which job you prefer, how often the file shows up. If it's rare, Thinkific takes this. You stay on the Grow plan, you build everything yourself, and on the odd occasion SCORM comes up, you handle it as the exception. Paying for Thinkific Plus to cover a once-a-year file makes no sense. But if SCORM is regular, if every other client arrives with a file, then think back to what you saw a minute ago. Upload, host, tracks completion on its own. Now imagine that being your Tuesday, every week, instead of a once-a-year scramble. That's the case for living on TalentLMS. No sales call, no per-file friction. You upload, it hosts, it tracks every single time. When SCORM is the rule and not the exception, the per-user price stops being a cost and starts being the thing that saves your week. Once you know your aisle, the last thing standing between you and a decision is what it actually costs. And this is where the two tools stop looking similar entirely, because they don't even charge the same way. Thinkific is a flat plan. You saw in my compliance video that a real training business runs on Grow, around $150 a month at the time I'm recording. And that's the number whether you've got 10 learners or 10,000. Flat is its whole advantage. The catch, you already know. Hosting a standards file means plus, and plus is a sales call, no public number. TalentLMS charges by users, and it publishes every number. At the time I'm recording, the paid plans start around $119 a month on yearly billing, scaling up by how many people you're training, with a genuine free tier underneath for 5 users and 10 courses. The exact figures are on screen and on the page in the description, and they move, so check them. The point that doesn't move, you can see them at all. So here's the real comparison. Not the sticker price, the math at your scale. Small operation, a few learners, building your own training? Thinkific's flat plan is almost always cheaper. And I'd tell you to take it. Serving corporate clients with dozens or hundreds of staff and SCORM in the mix? Per user climbs, yes, but you're charging the client for that. And the public pricing means you can quote them before you commit. Neither is cheaper in the abstract. One is cheaper for you. So here's the verdict, and it's 2 verdicts because you're 2 different people. If you're a creator selling to the public, or you build your own training and SCORM rarely shows up, you want Thinkific. Flat price, great builder, and you're not paying for an enterprise machine you'll never use. If you're serving organizations, SCORM is part of the job, and an auditor will come asking for records, you want TalentLMS. It's built for exactly that, and it shows you the price in public instead of hiding it behind a sales call. Right tool for the client in front of you. Not the most expensive, not the cheapest. Not the one paying me the best commission. That's the whole channel in one line. Both tools are linked in the description. Yes, they're affiliate links, so if you sign up through one, I earn a commission at no cost to you. That's disclosed, always, and it's why I just told you which one not to buy if it isn't your fit. If you want the full breakdown on either one, I've reviewed both solo. The Thinkific compliance build, and the TalentLMS SCORM walkthrough. Watch whichever aisle you landed in. They're the deep end of this same decision. And do me a favor, tell me in the comments which fork decided it for you. Buyer, build, or host, or price. I'm trying to map what actually drives this choice for people doing the work.